Hi, good morning, dear friends. After having completed in figure of speech, four different figures of speech, respectively simile, metaphor, then we have personification, and the fourth one, that was apostrophe. We saw the examples, what it meant. We also at the beginning, dear friends, have seen how these figures of speech have been divided. Okay, now we will move on to the fifth figure of speech, and that is hyperbole. So the fifth figure of speech is hyperbole. What is that? In this figure of speech, a statement is made emphatic by overstatement. So amplification has been done. What is amplification? It has been multiplied with the sentiments and emotions. Now, dear friends, once again, let me constantly remind you, if you don't read what the literature is, if you are not rooted with even your textbook, you may find at times difficult to understand the exaggerated form of the verse or the lesson. And this is what purely hyperbole is talking about. So in this figure of speech, a statement is made emphatic. Again, emphatic, which means amplifications. Widely. It has been broadened by overstatement. So something, you can very well express with the minimum sort of words. But here what the author is doing, author is using for a small statement, huge bombastic statements, probably words, and making a deep meaning to the same. Let me give you the examples. They are here below. Okay. I loved Ophelia, 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up some. Now, can you just understand? Can someone now here again, if you just understand from the romantic's point of view, definitely, dear friends, you must have heard that song, Saat Samandar Par Mein Tere Piche Piche Aa Gaya. And I think that is one of the best examples could be given for this hyperbole. Across 7 seas, across 7 oceans, perhaps I swam, perhaps I came to just see you, to meet you. And that is, if you just feel, dear friends, it's a total exaggeration, total kind of, something that is added a lot of sentiments and emotion, and it has been said. You see here itself, I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not. So her 40,000 brothers could not love in that manner I loved her. So which is so much. You are doing so much for someone, and you perhaps express in hyperbole. Why, man, if the river were dry, I am able to fill it with tears. Just understand. Can you feel a river with your tears? But hyperbole is something that gives you, see, even if the river dries up, I will be able to fill the entire river with my tears. O Hamlet, that's the play of Shakespeare, thou hast cleft my heart in twain. Okay, it's a kind of dilemma. So you see, you cannot, but you have put your heart and soul in a kind of dilemma, in a kind of situation. So that is what Hamlet is blamed for. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Just imagine. Now Arabian perfumes are very famous, dear friends, and all the perfumes will not sweeten this little hand. Now again, you can very well, of course, the man can be mesmerized But still the author is saying that all the perfumes, if coming together, will not be able to perform such theme. So here always overstatement has been used, dear friends, for a small little thing. See, our island home is far beyond the wave. Now, island is something inside the ocean. Island is something that is across the, waves. You just have the waves and beyond waves. Now waves will take you can't go beyond that. Okay, yeah. So for this, just to understand, dear friends, you keep reading, try to understand the meaning of the words, and definitely these things fall into your knowledge. The beauty draws us with a single hair. You see, now again, beauty draws us with a single hair. A lady having a single hair, will you be attracted to that? But then, it is something like perhaps a curl or a single hair that is in front of the countenance, in front of the face, and that has added to the beauty of that particular lady. More beautiful, the beauty draws with we completed that. More beautiful and soft than any moth. Now, moth is perhaps the thing which is like rusted thing in water, whether stagnant water or sometime in the sea, the moth has been created. So moth is very, very soothing, very, very soft, rusted thing, more beautiful than soft than any other moth. Now, moth is a very, very feeble, okay, very, very weak. So it is compared with the more beautiful than even that. Into the moonlight, whiter than snow. You see, just reading this particular statement may tell the description of the author, perhaps describing his beloved. Into the moonlight, okay, whiter than snow. Now, can there be the things? Perhaps there can be the things. Today, with the all editings and all things are possible, but still, what has been created by the nature, can you compare the artificiality with the permanent things? Not at all, dear friends. And that is what the author is trying to give. Tall buildings which cut off half the sky impress me. Now, can tall buildings cut the sky? They cannot. And even on the more, the author is trying to say that they impress him. So what does it mean? It means that perhaps the sight which has been created, that is what, dear friends, you start reading that particular line and you will understand. Perhaps the tall buildings, and due to the curves and the shades which have emerged there, that is brought out in this line. And music in his ear, his beating heart did. Okay, beating heart. So music has been compared with the enthusiastic way of going about. That music that enthuses the person, that brings life to the person. So you see, in all the sentences, dear friends, given here, exaggeration has been felt. Now we have hyperbole can be also exaggeration, dear friends. Okay, so there are total 27 to 28 figures of speech. And if you go to the Google, you may find a few more, because what happens, grammar can be researched and searched, dear friends. So here, but for us, we have 21 beautifully given figures of speech, and we will try to study them because most of them they summarize. So here, over an exaggerations point of view, hyperbole has been given. Let us see what the next is. The next figure of speech. Yes, dear friends. So next figure of speech is euphemism. Now, what is euphemism? Let us study that. It consists in the description of disagreeable thing by an agreeable name. Now, sometimes disagreeable. What is disagreeable? Now you may say, I agree with your disagreement. What do you understand that? So which means perhaps the negativity that way it is has been expressed, that is what has been expressed here. So euphemism consists in the description of disagreeable statement or thing by an agreeable name. What is that? Let us understand with the examples. So one short sleep past, we wake eternally. Now can you wake up just after a sleep for a moment? No, dear friends. And again, the sleep is a sort of disagreeable statement. Okay, one short sleep past. Perhaps you took a nap, perhaps you just lie down for a couple of minutes, and that cannot provide you eternal rest. Or perhaps it is, wake eternally. Perhaps they are saying that after that we could not sleep, or could not have any longer sleep. Perhaps you may also that the disagreeable statement which is given at the beginning, that says that one small nap, short sleep, that gave you a lot of satisfaction. Now that is what euphemism is. Two different statements given with two different ways of, and still you are trying to give the agreeable statement with that former one, that is disagreeable one. When I have crossed the bar. Now, when I have crossed the bar. If you just take these two different clauses and the bar, taken here in this very example as an object, the bar. Now crossing, which means there are no more bars available. There are no more obstacles available. But at the same time, when I have crossed the bar, now just imagine, when I have already crossed, I have my way, soothing, smooth, obstacle free way in front of me. But the again author has given same word coming back. I have crossed the bar. Now crossing has already suggested the man has already completed his action, and once again there is another disagreeable statement, that is the bar in front of him. So after reading each example, dear friends, if you go back to the description, if you go back to the illustration given of this figure of speech, you may try to understand what exactly the author is trying to say. Sunset and evening star. Now what is a sunset? Okay. And what is the evening star? Things are both differently compared. So the author has given description of both. One is the sunset, second one is the evening star. Okay. Those who have crossed, let me show you the next examples, dear friends. Those who have crossed with direct eyes to death's other kingdom. Can you see kingdom of death with your other eyes? No. But those who have crossed with the direct eyes, which means those who have really died. If you are dead, you may definitely see the kingdom of death. So that is what shown here. You are telling me a fairy tale. You are telling me, which means you can also tell me the truth. But the next one is fairy tale. I know, I trust you. Sometimes you may say, yes, man, I trust you. Not your talk, not the way you are. Sometimes you may also say, yes, I love you, but I don't trust you. Now take for an example, this euphemism has been used here in a very, very satirical manner. Satire has been used here. I may say, I love you, but I don't trust you. What it means? It means, I don't mind loving you, but I will never be able to trust, because I know once you have cheated me. Love, I need to. That is from my perception. That is from my point of view. I may love you. That's no problem of loving anyone. But for instance, if I just need to rely upon you, I will not be relied upon, because I will not be, my dear friends, because I know that once I have been cheated by you, and therefore the next time, the second time, I'll be very much cautious about, you see. So how sleep the brave who sink the rest. Okay. How sleep the brave who sink the rest. Now here see, the rest is rest. Here it is like you are just reclining. How sleep the brave. That is also like you are talking about the sleep, rest, or perhaps it can be mentioned also with the death. Next example. Who dreamed or dreamt that beauty passes like a dream? You see, you have already dreamt of such beauty and it has only become a dream. So did you understand? You dreamt or you dreamed being a millionaire and it only remained as a dream. Now you will understand the real meaning of that. So that is perhaps a sad notation has always been given here, dear friends. Okay. Troy passed away in one high funeral gleam. Okay. What is Troy? Troy was a kingdom, dear friends. Okay. Passed away in one high funeral gleam. So high funeral. Perhaps Troy has gone when the Troy's real owner, real king, real God. Now if you just understand the Greeks and the Romans, those who had Troy as their kingdom, they were very, their emperor, the great and mighty emperors, they would say that Troy has passed or Troy passed away in one high funeral gleam. So entire Troy has been now destructed just when the emperor is no more, just when the king was no more. So this is what, dear friends, euphemism is bringing to the statements. Okay. So once again, dear friends, if you want to understand, you may go back to your 5th and 6th figure of speech. Try reading out the examples and you will definitely come to know. We will, once we complete, then we will go back to our poems respectively for 9th and 10th standard both, dear friends, and even to 11th and 12th. This is the thing, once learned, once remembered, once by heart, you will always be able to find answers. Things are going to be difficult because at times you will not be able to understand, they are confusing, but if we keep reading, we will definitely get them. So thank you very much, dear friends, and in the next lecture we will try to see the 7th one. Okay? Yes.